What's going on, guys? So, this video was a bit unplanned. This topic, this discussion was a bit unplanned, but I feel like it needs to be spoken on. What if we have the wrong idea of what a relationship is supposed to look like? And I wanted to air quote relationship so bad just now, but right, because there's a natural relationship just between two people, and then it's what we consider to be a relationship or a healthy one, at least. And if you ask me, there needs to be more categories since you guys like to put labels on everything and everything needs a name. Because if you ask me, right, just the same way there's monogamy, there's polyamory, right? But then there's also long distance relationships. So I'm not just talking about like specific kinds of labels for relationships, just relationship types. And what do we call the relationship where we just get to grow together and we don't make unnecessary commitments and respect our youth, um, and can do that without assuming that, without equating that to being, without degrading ourselves. That's the best way to put it, because I feel like when people hear that, we like to think, oh, that means I want to sleep around, this, that, and the third. No, genuinely. I feel strongly about you, but we're 22. I'm 23. I don't want to feel like I'm married, no matter how in love with you I am right now. Um, and nothing is wrong with marriage. If you are married at 23 and you found your person, A, I'm beyond happy for you. That's a blessing. Though the reality is, we know how being young can be. You're traveling, new experiences, you're finding yourself what matters. You're planning your future, you're building. And to force yourself to stay in a certain state or city, because, and to confine yourself to what society is defining as a relationship or what someone else expects of you in a relationship is detrimental to your future, to what you are meant to be, to what you are here for. And granted, if it's the perfect or right person for you, they won't stop that, right? But I don't mean them stopping it in a way where they're toxic or anything like that, but just simply the expectations of the relationship themselves holding the both of you back because you're trying to live up to this idea that society has created. Don't get me wrong, if you, what you genuinely desire is to sit in the house, lay up, watch Netflix all day, have a movie night every weekend, and basically spend every other day together, do everything together. This is nothing wrong with this, right? I'm not trying to knock people who do spend a lot of time with their person. This video may not even be for you, right? And if you do this and you know you're in a healthy space and you are where you need to be, but 90% of people in this situation, and literally the demographic I'm talking about, this is not the case. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking as someone who used to be in a relationship, and I used to think, wow, like this. I used to be in that relationship. When I thought of my future, I had that relationship in mind. I used to move with intention or with intentions and just move in a way where I was considering that relationship in the long run. And so, in a way, everything I was doing kind of trickled back to that. And I'm just a dedicated person. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very loyal individual. So if you're in my circle, you're in my space, I see you here for the long run. And so I plan with that in mind. I consider you. And I kind of, how can I say, now that I look back on it, right, I'm sure I could be in a relationship again. And it wasn't, oh, the relationship led me to do that, right? It was definitely my idea of the relationship and just kind of following, society's idea of, well, what is a good boyfriend? What is a good man, right? If you ask me, a good person is someone who stands by you, supports you, regardless of distance, regardless of your contrast in dreams or interests, and someone who genuinely adores and is inspired by you and your story and wants to be a part of that by any means. That is a true relationship. And whether you are officially dating or not has nothing to do with that. If you have that in a person, bingo, bingo. I don't want to scream. I don't want to scream, right? But bingo. That is a relationship by all means. It's like a friend. It's perfect, right? Because the only thing better than the perfect relationship is the perfect friendship, right? Some of us like to say, or a lot of people have said, breaking up with a friend or losing a friend is because I feel like I said breaking up with a friend, but you know what I mean. People do call like losing a friend breakup sometimes, like oh, the two friends broke up, but um, losing a friend can be worse than a breakup, and yeah, yeah, it definitely can be. Like it may not have been a intimate relationship in the same way because it can still be intimacy between two friends, right? Just different types. Um, but it was still so deep rooted, and maybe the lack of intimacy and expectations actually allowed for that bond to grow deeper in a more genuine way, and in ways that you didn't plan for, ways that are deeper with less expectations, which kind of assists the depth that the relationship goes to in the first place. And this is why it's very important to be friends with people before you date them. There's no way you truly know someone and you haven't been friends with them because there's just a different level of relaxation, a different kind. Unless, you know, on rare occasions you have people that are, them no matter what. But it's not to say a person isn't them just because they treat you differently in a romantic aspect. They are still them, just a different them for you, or with more flair, with more ooh ooh. My biggest pet peeves, my biggest pet peeve with relationships is things start out great, and somewhere along the lines, we lose sight of the fact that we were once friends. It's like, dude, you you know what I'm saying? So imagine, and I never lose sight of that part. So when certain things become issues, now that certain feelings are involved and whatnot, sometimes I can be kind of confused because it's like, dang, if your friend can't make it tonight to come over for new movie night, that's cool, because even though you wanted to see them, I get it, man. You got work tomorrow, but your boyfriend can't come, or your girlfriend is busy tonight, and all of a sudden you've been betrayed. All of a sudden your heart is broken, tears are being shed, you're rolling on the floor. Heartbreak emoji. Be for real. Just say you miss me. Just express. I'm not saying you can't feel these ways. Actually, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're not supposed to feel these ways. But like, yeah, you wanted to see them, and maybe because you're attached in that different way, those feelings are emphasized. But that feeling shouldn't translate into, oh, now you have an attitude. Now I'm upset with you. Now you owe me. It shouldn't be expressed in a way that makes that person feel guilty for living their life, because this is when or where the idea of a relationship the ideal in a relationship becomes toxic. Your emotions and what you want behind your emotions don't override that person's priorities, because them upkeeping their life and their priorities is a huge part of the reason why you were attracted to them in the first place. Let's not lose sight of that. That's the thing. Breaking up with people shouldn't mean, oh, breakups aren't always like bad, right? But when we do break up with someone, you should be able to be friends with them afterwards. Unless I guess I understand when things like go south, completely south. Um, but the goal is to just break up, and for the reasons of maybe this isn't right. Maybe your feelings change, natural things, but not because your inability to you know separate your expectations and feelings from reality, alter things and change things, cause you to lose sight. That's the true heartbreak. It's like watching someone vanish before your eyes. Like it really does hurt to see someone not look at you the same, and you never lost sight of who they were. You know, it's like, dang. But It's also a learning, it also goes to show for me, or it went to show for me, that I was overlooking a lot of things in the relationship and in the individual for it to get to that point in the first place, where I didn't realize that until it got there. You understand? Now, I mean, I'm really someone that needs to go through things one time, and I pretty much download all of the lessons and the themes. It's like a photographic memory for the unseen, if that makes sense. Right, cool. With that being said, I hope that was helpful for you guys, and I just got some points across. Right, share this with your peoples and your friends that need to hear this. Those, especially anybody stuck in relationship loops or anything like that. For anyone looking to do one-on-one work, shadow work, or just needs a genuine reflection, someone to mirror off and grow with, check the link in my description for any one-on-one lessons you'd like to book. There are different kinds of sessions. Help yourself and read through the descriptions. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace, love, unity, deuces.